Hey, it's me, Raika. Today we're going to have a look at the brand new hero from the Draconis faction, Nyla, the Shadowsong Mirage. Now, this hero wears cloth-based gear, is part of the support class, and this hero's primary role is to provide a significant amount of shields, utility, and control through her various abilities. Now, this hero does not do a tremendous amount of damage. However, she does provide a lot of secondary buffs, which will greatly benefit your allies in battle. So let's have a look at her skills. Her ultimate ability, Bubble Dream. Nyla launches a giant bubble, captivating the nearest enemy and causing them to float. During this time, if their energy exceeds 900 points, so that is 90% of their full energy bar, they will break free from the bubble's control. Level 2. After breaking free from the bubble's control, the target cannot gain energy for 5 seconds. If they break free prematurely, this duration extends to 7 seconds. So this is that energy denial for the enemy hero. Level 3. When a target escapes a giant bubble, they fall to the ground taking damage. So they'll take up to 12% of their max health, which is capped at 640%. So as we can see, most of her abilities right over here, the initial and the level 2, do not provide any damage. Only the final one provides a bit of damage to her kit. Her next ability, Bubble Funland. Now this is a little circle that will appear underneath the enemy hero. Nyla conjures a bubble-filled playground on the battlefield for 20 seconds, reducing the tenacity of enemies within the area for 20 points. Multiple bubble funlands can exist at the same time. So these are little circles on the ground. The level 2 and 3 reduce the enemy's attack all the way to 40 points. And the level 4, when the enemy escapes a giant bubble, so this is the ultimate ability, it creates a bubble funland. So as we can see, this ability over here does not provide any damage. It simply reduces the enemy's ability to resist control effects. Her next ability, Bubble Maze. When an allied hero takes high damage, so this is equivalent to 8% of their max health, Nyla swings a staff, causing them to vanish and reappear in the farthest bubble funland. So these are the little circles that appear on random areas on the ground. However, they will be mostly placed underneath enemy heroes. The bubble funland burst, dealing damage to nearby enemies and knocking them back slightly. So as we can see, she can provide a bit of cheat death for her allies. The damage taken by allies within the bubble funland is reduced by 15%, and if it's Nyla, the damage reduction is 30%. Level 3. This is further enhanced all the way to 25% for your allies. And if this is Nyla who's standing inside the bubble funland, this is all the way up to 50% damage reduction. And the 30 engravings upon reappearing in the bubble funland. The allied hero immediately gains a bubble shield that decays over 8 seconds, absorbing damage up to 100% of their max health. So this is a massive amount of damage that is offset that will be inflicted on your allied hero. Her next ability, Menacing Bolt. When an enemy hero suffers reduced movement speed, haste, or control effects, Nyla's inner power uncontrollably unleashes one bolt. This deals dragon speed damage for 220% of her allies' attack rating, which causes this effect. Capped at 330% of her own attack rating, and this effect can trigger 4 times every 1 second. So if you have a lot of allies that can provide these various effects such as control, movement speed, and haste, then this will greatly increase the amount of damage she does to the enemy heroes. The level 2 and 3 increases damage effectiveness all the way from 220 to 260% of her attack rating, and the level 4 or 60 engravings for each 4 bolts fired. Nyla triggers Dragon's Fury, dealing dragon speed damage for 360% of her attack rating to the nearest enemy. This knocks them back to the battlefield's edge, causing them to lose 300 energy points and stunning them for 4 seconds. So those are all her abilities. Let's have a look at her signature item. Now when you unlock the Supreme Bubble, at the start of battle, a bubble seed is planted in the ally with the lowest health. when the carrier takes damage exceeding 8% of their max health, the seed immediately transforms into a bubble shield that decays over 8 seconds and absorbing damage up to 100% of their max health. As you can see, this is a significant amount of extra damage mitigation that she can provide. The level 10, every 10 seconds, Nyla will plant another bubble seed into another ally. Level 20, at the beginning of battle, the bubble seed planted is also planted in the enemy hero with the highest attack rating. And when the carrier deals damage exceeding 8% of the target's max health, the bubble seed will immediately transform into a giant bubble and will last for 6 seconds. So as we can see, this will alternate between the bubble dream and the bubble maze, where you will have additional damage reduction and, as we can see, a bit of shields for your allies and the control effects based on bubble dream. Now the 30 signature item unlock, every 10 seconds, Nyla will plant another bubble seed in the enemy hero with the highest attack rating. So as we can see, she'll provide a significant amount of control, essentially making enemies unable to regain their energy throughout the duration of battle. And her 40 signature item, Nyla gains 50% increased healing and takes 50% less damage from allies and enemies carrying bubble seeds. Alright, so let's have a look at her furniture. Now when you unlock her 3 out of 3, Bubble Bash, if enemies linger in the bubble funland for more than 3 seconds, the bubble funland transforms into a giant bubble, controlling and suspending them in the air for 6 seconds. Each enemy can trigger this effect one time every 15 seconds. So as we can see, she can provide additional control through this ability over here. And a 9 out of 9 for every instance of damage dealt by heroes carrying bubble seeds. The attack power of Nyla's bolts permanently increase by 2%, capped at 200%. So as we can see, the menacing seeds is this ability over here, is whenever an enemy is controlled or a movement speed or a haste effect is applied, she'll be able to fire one of these bolts. So let's have a look at how she does in battle. So we're going to start off with the training dummy right over here. Now as soon as she walks onto battle, she'll immediately cast Bubble Funland at the bottom over here. As we can, she fires these bubbles at the enemy heroes. There's another Bubble Funland, and as we can see, this is buffing her up. So if she takes any fatal damage or one of her allies take fatal damage, they'll immediately teleport to the furthest bubble land. And this will significantly reduce their damage taken. And as we can see, she's currently standing on a bubble funland. This will reduce the amount of damage she's taken. And as we can see, multiple enemy heroes can be stacked on the same tile. So let's have a look at her ultimate. As we can see, now she summons a bubble. And this temporarily floats them into the air. So this cancels any animations that they may have, essentially stunning them for a couple of seconds, not allowing them to use any of their abilities and allowing your allies to take control over the battlefield. So let's have a look at how she does at a much higher level deficit. Now, because this hero does not deal any damage, it is difficult to gauge how powerful this hero can be, but in many cases, when the enemy is dropped out of their bubble form, they will take 12% of their max health as damage. Now, this is capped to her attack rating. However, she can deal a pretty significant amount, especially for a support-based hero. Now, she does not provide any healing. However, she can offset a tremendous amount of damage with her shield-based effects. Now, the team that she will do extremely well in is a Stall or Awakened Chimera-based team. The reason for this is she provides additional energy reduction effects and control effects for your allies. This essentially allows you to control the battlefield much faster, completely cancelling the enemies from allowing them to gain any energy. And as we can see over here, she can deal also a bit of damage for your allies as well. Now, in addition to this, she can also provide a significant amount of cheat death abilities. So if your team is very squishy or they need that extra survivability, she's the go-to hero for you to survive longer and deal damage to the enemy heroes. Now, in this case, she was able to compete with many other heroes, as we can see over here, such as Lady Simone and Awakened Chimera. So, what is the minimum investment that I would recommend into this allied hero? Now, because this is a dragon-based hero, I would recommend getting at least the minimum 4, which is the 30 SI, 9 furniture, and 30 engravings. However, I do not recommend going all out for a 40 signature item. The reason for this, she is not a damage dealer. She's mainly there for either that extra cheat deaths that she will provide for your entire team. In addition, she also provides a lot of control effects, and these control effects are not affected by how much stats she has. The additional stats will allow her to simply survive longer, deal her respective abilities to the enemy targets, and provide the necessary shields for your allies as well. Now, I do not recommend going for 60 engravings as she's not a damage dealer, but I would also recommend going for 9 out of 9 furniture, as this provides additional utility, especially the 3 unlock, as this provides an extra bubble which allows you to control the enemies much faster and stop them from gaining energy in battle.